10. 13 Hours of Secret Soldiers of Benghazi. Released in 2016 and directed by Michael Bay, 13 Hours of Secret Soldier of Benghazi is based on a true story and follows a decently sized unit of United States CIA agents. The United States Embassy in Benghazi is attacked and large amounts of casualties occur. The highly trained CIA agents are then tasked with defending what is left of the Americans stationed in Benghazi, where they find themselves largely outnumbered. Fierce battle emerges abruptly, and the Americans are forced to either fight or die. No one outside of the Americans in the ongoing battle in Benghazi had any idea or intel as to what was going on. The Americans were left to die by their own government and must ultimately fight off the entire enemy force in order to secure the safety of their fellow Americans. 9. American Sniper. Released in 2014 and directed by Clint Eastwood, American Sniper is based on a true story and follows Chris Kyle throughout his entire career as a United States Navy SEAL sniper stationed in the hostile Middle East country of Iraq. From his abundant awards and his relationships with his fellow SEALs to some of the disturbing and scary decisions Kyle had to make, this film is a great showcase of the war on terrorism that went on in Iraq. American Sniper also gives in-depth looks at Kyle's life back in the United States and how always being overseas at war affected his family life and his ability to function in a peaceful society. All in all, American Sniper is an outstanding story of the greatest sniper in American history and how he conducted himself on the battlefield as well as back home in the States. 8. We Were Soldiers. Released in 2002 while being directed and acted in by Mel Gibson, We Were Soldiers is an action-packed yet brutal war film depicting the very first battle of Vietnam. The film takes place on a massive battlefield with very large forces of opposing armies battling each other in the vast and unforgiving jungle. It shows in depth how the Viet Cong ran their underground operation, as well as showing how the Americans utilized tactics like napalm. From intense battle scenes to the powerful and meaningful message behind the war, We Were Soldiers is a must-watch movie that will keep viewers engaged throughout the entirety of the film. 7. Lone Survivor. Released in 2013 and directed by Peter Berg, Lone Survivor is based on a true story and follows a unit of 4 United States Navy SEALs who are dispatched on a mission in Taliban-ruled territory. Their mission isn't supposed to be a very complicated one. Their objective is to locate and confirm the identity of a high-ranking member of the Taliban. The SEALs are on track for a successful mission until they run into an unexpected group of goat herders from a close-by village which is housing the targeted Taliban member. After making a detrimental decision about what to do with the goat herders, the small unit of 4 SEALs begin to hike up a treacherous mountain, where they find themselves engaged in merciless battle. Outnumbered heavily, the unit is cut off from any outside help and must fight for their lives with everything they have. One of the Navy SEALs involved in this mission is Marcus Luttrell, who was actually on the site while this movie was being filmed, helping Lone Survivor gain a more accurate aspect of how the events in this gripping battle actually happened. 6. Platoon. Released in 1986 and directed by Oliver Stone, Platoon features a star-studded cast consisting of Charlie Sheen, Willem Dafoe, Tom Berenger, Johnny Depp, Forrest Whitaker, and more. The storyline follows a platoon of soldiers during the war in Vietnam as they fight a challenging and controversial war against an intelligent enemy. The film really focuses in on the deception that occurred between the American soldiers, as well as the everyday, ongoing drag of the life of a soldier deployed in Vietnam. Still featuring great battle scenes, Platoon incorporates how tricky and smart the Viet Cong were, which made it a very tough, yet crucial war for the Americans to win. 5. Black Hawk Down. Released in 2001 and directed by Ridley Scott, Black Hawk Down follows a large squadron of United States Army Rangers in the hostile country of Somalia during the 1990s. After receiving word that they will be going on what was supposed to be a quick and easy mission into the nearby Bakara market, which is controlled by the Somali militia, the Rangers begin to gear up. After only preparing a small amount of supplies to take on the expectedly short mission, the Rangers find themselves pinned down and in combat with a very large force of Somali militia. Cut off from any outside help, the soldiers are forced to put everything they have on the line in order to win the battle and return home to the American base alive and in one piece. 4. The Hurt Locker. Released in 2008 and directed by Catherine Bigelow, The Hurt Locker follows Sergeant William James and his squad as they serve as a bomb squad unit during the Iraq War. Sergeant James sports a heavy-duty juggernaut suit, which is meant to aid him in case a bomb blows up while he is attempting to defuse it. As a man who keeps to himself, Sergeant James often scares his unit as he prefers to work on his own, without communication, and sometimes even Overwatch. He may come off as reckless, but Sergeant James is excellent at his job and backs down from no one. As hostile as Iraq is during this time, the soldiers are forced to assess every situation that could possibly be a bomb. With the bomb sites often being monitored by suspicious Iraqis, the squad is forced to be on their A-game, because with one wrong move or missed target, someone could very easily die or get badly wounded. With great acting from Jeremy Renner, The Hurt Locker is a modern-day masterpiece to say the least. 3. Full Metal Jacket. Released in 1987 and directed by Stanley Kubrick, Full Metal Jacket is a Vietnam War movie that has two main focuses. Starting off with boot camp, the film follows a select company of soldiers training to fight in Vietnam. Assigned a very loud and mean drill sergeant, the company does not have it easy and are tormented every day by the infamous drill sergeant, who is actually played by a man who served as drill sergeant in real life. After some very intense, humorous, and disturbing events at boot camp, the movie finally rolls into its second focus, the actual Vietnam War. Full Metal Jacket incorporates realistic features of how Vietnam not only was during battle, but how it was among the towns and the people of Vietnam. Showcasing how the Tet Offensive happened and how bewildering it was for the soldiers, on top of all the other previously mentioned components, shows how Full Metal Jacket truly is a great war film. 2. Apocalypse Now. Released in 1979 and directed by Francis Ford Coppola, Apocalypse Now follows a small unit of American soldiers during the Vietnam War. After dragging a disturbed soldier out of his bunk room to participate in a very essential mission, he is assigned a squad and stationed in a United States military boat headed up a river in Cambodia in search of a very decorated, long-lost colonel. Apocalypse Now shows how the Vietnam War could eat soldiers up and change them as people, as well as how bizarre some situations could be. With stellar acting from Martin Sheen, Robert Duvall, Marlon Brando, and more, this film truly changed the way that not only war movies, but movies in general are made, as it has very influential factors such as the acting and the very advanced graphics of the critically acclaimed motion picture. 1. Saving Private Ryan. Released in 1998 and directed by Steven Spielberg, Saving Private Ryan features the Second World War and how extreme it really was. As the opening scene depicts the bloody Battle of D-Day, the Americans are dropped off by boat on Omaha Beach, located in France, and are forced to fight their way up the beach while multiple German MG-42 machine guns are firing at them with little to no cover to hide behind. The movie proceeds past the D-Day scene and follows Captain John Miller and his moderately sized unit of Army Rangers. They are given a mission that requires them to voyage through Nazi-occupied France in search of a Private James Ryan. They are set forth on this mission due to the deaths of Private Ryan's three other brothers, who were killed in action during D-Day. Their orders are to retrieve Private Ryan and return him back home to headquarters safely so that he can be shipped home to his family in America. The Rangers then begin their treacherous journey, where they will do everything it takes to stay alive and complete their mission. Overall, Saving Private Ryan is considered the most realistic war film, and possibly even the most realistic film in all of cinema. With every component combined, Saving Private Ryan truly showcases the greatest war movie of all time in very, very many ways.